Hello, second grade families. Based on feedback from our parent survey, I wanted to create another video to outline our new curriculum and what is coming up for the remainder of the year for our second grade students. We're sending this video out in February because we needed to take a few months to implement the curriculum and learn the ins and outs before we could present it to families. In this video, I'm going to start out by talking about why we changed the curriculum. Then we'll look at what EL brings to the equation and what the day-to-day instructional format looks like. Then we'll look at the final two modules of the year and what you can expect from those. And finally, I'll speak a little bit about what you can do at home to support your child's learning. So first, why did CMS change the curriculum? For about 10 years, most schools in CMS used what was known as the Balanced Literacy Framework. The general idea of the framework was a short mini lesson on a particular reading skill, then small group rotations where the teacher could meet individually with readers or small groups of readers. While there were resources for teachers, most teachers were left to find resources, texts, and activities for the students to complete. While there are certainly benefits to the Balanced Literacy Framework, it required teachers to spend a lot of their personal and planning time gathering resources and creating learning progressions. Unfortunately, this led to a lack of coherence and stability in instruction, leading to inequitable outcomes for students. Additionally, students in early grades in many classrooms were not provided adequate phonics instruction, vocabulary, and word study, leading to difficulty with spelling and decoding unfamiliar words in later grades. We knew we needed a coherent curriculum that explicitly taught phonics to our K-2 students, which led to the district choosing EL education. So why did CMS choose EL? What's so special about the curriculum? Well, in my opinion, EL brings these important components to learning that were missing under the Balanced Literacy Framework. First, in K2, there's an hour-long block dedicated to teaching important reading skills such as letter sounds, spelling conventions, prefixes, and suffixes. And this block is every day. Students are assessed on their ability to decode and spell words, and instruction is provided at their specific level called a microphase. Your teacher can provide you more information about your student's microphase and what that means. The next benefit is a coherent learning path around a specific topic. This year, your students have learned important vocabulary and background knowledge about schools around the world and about fossils. Each day, we teach a module lesson that centers around a complex text and focuses on teaching important vocabulary and background knowledge about an engaging topic. Our first module was about schools around the world, and we just wrapped up our second module on fossils and paleontology. Hopefully, your students have been able to tell you about fossils and discuss the text being read in class, like Stone Girl, Bone Girl, and The Dog That Dug for Dinosaurs. Next, there's an explicit focus on how to write using the text being read in class. Our second graders just worked on their own narratives using the mentor text to understand the author's craft. This kind of intentional writing had been missing under previous curricula. Next, there's a balance of fiction and nonfiction texts. We used to teach entire units around fictional text and then do a separate unit on nonfiction text. Now, we center our units around topics rather than types of text, which brings a balance to the types of text we teach, as well as maintaining our focus on building background knowledge around an engaging topic. Next, as one principal told me recently, our teachers are not curriculum developers. They're teachers. This curriculum provides our teachers and students with a variety of graphic organizers and supports for all students to be able to be successful. And finally, the curriculum embeds what they call habits of character into each of its lessons. Specifically, second graders work to become effective learners by developing initiative, responsibility, perseverance, and collaboration, and work to become ethical people by developing empathy, integrity, respect, and compassion. So what does a day look like? Our second graders begin their day with a module lesson delivered in a whole group setting. There are activities embedded in the lesson, such as opportunities to talk, to write, and to reflect on their learning. So it's not an hour of just sitting and listening to the teacher talk. This quarter, they'll be learning about plants and pollinators, but I'll talk a little bit about about that in a minute. After the module lesson, they participate in a labs block, where the students have the opportunity to create, engineer, imagine, or research about their particular topic. This injects a fun element into the day and gives students an opportunity to be more hands-on in their learning. Finally, there's a skills block lesson, which consists of a 15-minute whole group lesson about letter sounds and decoding words. After that lesson, the teacher facilitates small group lessons based on a student's microphase, so we can target exactly what those students need to reach their next phase of reading. I don't want to go into too much detail about the microphases here, so please reach out to your teacher about your child's microphase and what that reveals to them about them as a reader. While the teacher is meeting with a small group, the other students are working on word work, accountable independent reading, writing, or reading fluency with a partner. So, there's a lot of time dedicated to literacy each day, all around a specific and an engaging topic. So what does the rest of the year look like for second graders? Well, in modules 3 and 4, there's an overarching focus on plants and pollinators. Module 3 is a study of how plants grow, how pollinators like insects support growth and survival, and how plants provide us with fruits and vegetables. At the end of Module 3, students will create a poster about a specific pollinator and how their pollinator supports the life and growth of a particular plant. The students will present their poster to an authentic audience, building public speaking skills. In Module 4, which is the fourth quarter, students will research how we can support pollinators and the pollination process and type an opinion piece about why people should help butterflies. In our skills block, we will continue to look at common suffixes and sounds such as the ABLE and the IBLE, CK and K endings, LE, TCH, CH, GE, DGE, LY, US, OUS, CAL, CLE, MENT, and NESS. Now, if you're listening and thinking, my child knows all this stuff already, why are we wasting their time teaching them things they already know? Well, remember that the direct instruction part of skills block is only 15 minutes, and the remaining 45 minutes are geared toward individualizing activities in small group instruction. Your child will likely be introduced to more complex conventions and more complex texts during this time. So finally, how can you support your child's learning at home? Well, there are 3 things you can do at home to support classroom learning and literacy. First, you can ask your child about the module topic, which is, as I said, pollinators and plants. You can ask them about the specific text that they're reading in class. And most importantly, you can continue to read with your children or have them read to you at home each night before bed. Ask them questions like who, what, where, when, why questions. Ask how characters are responding to challenges. Check and see if they're reading fluently with flow and expression, and see if they can recall the beginning, middle, and end of the story and retell it in sequence. That will be the best way to support the learning happening in the classroom and embed the learning into their life outside of school. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. As always, if you have more questions or want more information about the curriculum, you can always reach out to me via email or your classroom teacher, and I'd be happy to speak with you or meet with you in person. I do want to plug and promote the PTA Spaghetti Dinner on February 20th. At this spaghetti dinner, I will be presenting here about math instruction and answering any questions, including questions about the curriculum or any other concerns you have. So I invite all of you to come out and join us. Thank you for watching this video, and feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns.